All right, let's just dive right in. We are about to go on a pretty mind-bending journey today, exploring where hard science, literally quantum physics, meets the very nature of our reality. We're talking about the idea that the universe, our own minds, and maybe even our destiny are all linked by this invisible energy field. And getting a handle on this could completely change how you see your world. So let's start with this. This is the core idea we're unpacking. It's a pretty bold statement, isn't it? It basically challenges everything we think we know about being a person, being separate individuals in this big, vast world. But what if? What if science itself is actually starting to prove that this statement is true? To make this a little less, out there, just picture this for a second. You have a die and you roll it. Your friend has its identical twin on the other side of the planet. Now somehow, no matter how many times you roll, the second your die lands on a 4, theirs instantly reflects a related outcome. This isn't magic. It's actually a pretty good analogy for a very real principle in the quantum world.
So what is this principle really about? Well, it's the scientific backbone of everything we're talking about today, and it points to this hidden connection that's woven right into the fabric of the universe itself.
It's called quantum entanglement, and it's not a theory, it's a proven phenomenon where these tiny little particles become linked. Once they're entangled, whatever happens to one of them, its partner reacts instantly, even if they're light years apart. And here's the crazy part. There's no signal being sent between them. The connection just is. It exists beyond our normal understanding of space and time. And this idea has a really cool history. Back in 1935, even Albert Einstein was completely baffled by it. He famously called it spooky action at a distance because he just couldn't wrap his head around it. For decades, it was just this weird paradox. But then, in 1982, a physicist named Alain Aspect ran a series of experiments that proved it wasn't just some spooky theory. It was absolutely real. Okay, so tiny particles are connected. That's cool, but what does that have to do with our daily lives, right? How do we get from subatomic physics to you paying your bills? Well, the proposed bridge here is our own mind. The idea is that your subconscious acts as a kind of living, breathing antenna. So the argument goes like this. If everything is fundamentally made of these connected particles, then our consciousness can't just be locked away inside our skulls. Our thoughts, our intentions, our emotions, they all generate actual energy. And this energy doesn't just poof into nothing. It's interacting with that same universal field we've been talking about. This means your subconscious is constantly broadcasting and receiving signals, just like an antenna. And get this, some people point to research from the HeartMath Institute that found the human heart produces this powerful electromagnetic field. I mean, it's strong enough to be measured several feet away from the body. And this field, which actually changes based on our emotions, is thought to be the very bridge between our inner feelings and our outer world. Now, this all sounds incredibly powerful, which leads to a pretty logical question. If our minds are so good at influencing reality, why do so many of us feel so stuck all the time? Why can't we just think our way into a perfect life? And here it is. Here's the core of the problem. According to biologist Dr. Bruce Lipton, a staggering 95% of our daily life, our actions, our thoughts, our decisions, is controlled not by our conscious mind, but by our subconscious programming. That just leaves a tiny 5% for what we actually want to do. And where does all this programming even come from? Well, most of it gets locked in during our first 7 years of life. See, during that time, a child's brain is mostly operating in what's called a theta wave state. You can think of it like being in a hypnotic trance for 7 years. We're just downloading everything, the beliefs, the attitudes, the limitations of our family and our environment, straight into our subconscious, with absolutely no filter. So what you get is this massive internal conflict. It's a total tug of war. Your conscious mind, that little 5%, might be screaming that it wants abundance and love and success. But if your subconscious, the 95% that's really running the show, was programmed with beliefs like money is hard to make or I'm not worthy, Well, which signal do you think the universe is picking up on? This is exactly why people get stuck in the same cycles over and over, no matter how hard they consciously try to change.
But here is the really good news. This is not a life sentence. You're not stuck with that programming forever. That old programming can be changed. We can actually consciously go in and rewrite the beliefs in our subconscious mind.
Honestly, the best way to think about it is like updating the software on your computer. Your subconscious is running on an old, outdated operating system, maybe from 1995. The whole key is to install new programs, new beliefs that actually line up with the life you want to create today. So how do you actually do it? Well, the process really boils down to 3 core steps. First, you got to have awareness. You have to start catching those negative thought patterns and consciously choose new ones. Second, it's about emotion. You have to generate the feeling of your new reality in your body now before it even shows up. And third, it's about action. You have to make sure your behaviors are in line with this new belief system. And look, there are a ton of tools to help with this. Things like meditation and visualization can help you get into that subconscious state. Affirmations, which is really just repeating new beliefs, helps rewrite that old code. Actively trying to feel emotions like gratitude and love can literally change your energetic frequency, the signal you're broadcasting. And then there are specialized techniques like EFT and NLP that are designed to go in and directly dissolve old limiting beliefs. Now, there's one final, absolutely crucial piece to making all of this work. It's a state of mind that goes way beyond just wanting or hoping for something. It's about living in a state of total, absolute certainty. And this is such a powerful distinction. See, desire often comes from a place of lack, that feeling that you don't have something. Certainty, on the other hand, is the feeling that it's already yours. It's an emotional frequency of knowing. And according to this whole view, the universe doesn't respond to what you want, it responds to who you are being. Now here is a fascinating idea. When you start to really change your vibration, you might suddenly face a challenge. An unexpected bill shows up, or you have a difficult conversation. The source material suggests this isn't a sign that you're failing. It's the universe testing you. It's like it's asking, are you sure? Is this new belief of yours for real? Or are you just going to slip back into the old pattern at the first sign of trouble? So, how do you build this kind of certainty? Well, it comes down to 4 keys. First, unwavering faith. You've got to practice believing it before you can see it. Second, gratitude. Feeling thankful for what you want as if it's already sitting in front of you. Third, detachment. Letting go of the need to control exactly how and when it's going to show up. And finally, probably the most powerful step of all, act as if. This means you start making decisions and carrying yourself as the person who already has everything you desire. So in the end, this all comes down to a choice. Every single thought, every feeling, every action, it's a signal you're sending out, and it's confirming a particular reality. So the question I want to leave you with is this: what reality are you confirming with your energy right now?